Bong bong. Yo.
Bong bong.
Yo, we're back. Let's go. It's the second half of the anniversary show. Welcome. Welcome to Bodycast anniversary. We got the whole team here. Look at everybody's here. Pat Nicholson, nice. I like that. Yo, this is the Bodycast, as you know. It's the what do I say? It's the official podcast for the subreddit r/RapBattles. My name is Copacetic. Sucker Free Cope with me today as back as usual.
I missed last week, but I'm here again. Pathogenic.
Love having you here. And special guest today for our segment on Ireland, the representative, the one and only Scotty B. Represent.
SVE, Scotty B, what's good, guys? Grateful to be on here.
Real shit, real shit. Yeah, real happy to have you out, man, because like Ireland's dope and you guys got a lot of talent. And oh man, I'm hyped. I'm hyped for this episode. It's gonna be very exciting. We've got a lot.
Oh my man, so my.
Let's go.
I am so nervous to see what
You
is
should
about
be.
to happen.
Oh my God, you have no idea. But we will get into that. We will get into everything. r/RapBattles is, of course, the largest online forum for the international culture of battle rap. You can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and on the official Discord server in the links below. It's the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. What? He's up with that. You're just
I mean, like, if you're not sub to the subreddit, why aren't you now?
let's go.
Exactly.
Ringing endorsement. Facts.
I like him already.
Facts, right? Great points. Yeah, boy, what a show we have for you today. We're going to be covering Ireland, and then the next segment after that, we're going to be dabbling in Canada, see what happened in Canada, and we're going to finish that up with America, the birthplace of battle rap. As far as I know, be really weird, right? If like Peru was just like actually, 200 years ago we were doing battle rap. There probably is or something like that. I don't know. We will find out on
There
this show.
definitely is. Because
Right?
I know for a fact that there was Vikings and that did
Right.
fighting and stuff.
Right, all that stuff.
And Middle Eastern countries in Africa, they also had it too.
Right? Depending on how historically accurate epic rap battles of history could be very difficult for
Yeah, it
Americans
might
to
be.
claim.
I mean, they also have battle rap in the Philippines, and that is huge. Like, it's on America styles of levels when it comes to fans in the door.
Doesn't that just make you want to learn Tagalog? Doesn't it just make you want to learn just so you can go over there and just be
Honestly,
battle rap celebrity? But we can be battle rap celebrities here because this is what the show is about. We are this is the highest quality hosts today. We have people here who are behind the scenes, in front of the camera, international superstars. There's a lot of talent both behind the camera here on this show and watching at home. We appreciate all of our subscribers and everybody watching because you appreciate battle rap and the culture from around the globe. That really worldly, well-educated, even more well-educated now.
Let me
Help me
just
out.
summarize this.
Please.
You're the best.
right?
You're the best.
Let's keep
You're the
it plain and simple. You're the
Facts.
best.
You're the best around. So when we do these top 10 lists, there's something that I want to say. This is the BattleBots top 10 list. So, this is battle rap and there's no perfect list and it's a subjective art form and everybody has their bias and preferences. So making lists is always about a conversation rather than like a definitive ranking. Until now, when we got the battle rap and we got AI, so we made the official definitive ranking for all these countries. This is something that you just can't argue because it's science.
Because a fucking robot did it.
A robot did it. Oh, Pat, you're gonna poo-poo it just because a robot did it. But the robot is zeros and ones. It's very hard to argue.
True, very true.
We'll see.
No
We'll see.
human error there.
We'll see how good his lists are. If his lists are crap, then maybe he deserves it. But either way, we're really grateful to have the BattleBot back. Obviously, he spent a lot of time upgrading, and we've missed him for a few weeks. We only just got him back last week. And BattleBot, you're there. You just you're done upgrading. You've got all your downloads and stuff? You're all good? You're from your break?
My motherboard died.
Yo, that is sick.
I'm still
That's the
processing
first.
it.
That's the first. Yo,
So those
that is
computer
sick.
puns.
That's not a funny joke. That's not a funny joke, BattleBot. That's terrible.
My operating system is much more advanced than your primitive human brain.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's why we have you on here, because
That's a fucking shot at me somehow. I guarantee it.
BattleBot's really smart, and so that's why we have him on doing these lists. It's just, but yeah, it's a little dark.
R.I.P. to your motherboard, bro.
For real. Let's jump into it, because Ireland has had a crazy year, really. I mean, there's a lot going on. Now, you were running events for Rappers Comp Ireland. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct. We put on 2 events this year due to reasons, like personal reasons. I didn't get to be as active as I wanted to. But we had a good few events this year. Premier Battles launched the Ireland division, and they had their kickoff event in October. And Rappers Full, before they had gone out of business and stopped the battles, they had about 3 or 4 events this year. So altogether, you're looking at nearly 9 or 10 events over in Ireland, which for us, it is really good because we don't really have the time or the fan base to be able to whack out the events that everyone else does. So seeing that amount of people
That's
being able to show up and put it on, for our small little rock is a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's really impressive. Like, I mean, I know there are issues with people getting over, and there were some no shows. Was the J Short thing this year, or was that last year?
That was last year, and it
Okay,
was on my platform. Oh Lord, if I speak,
that's growing pains, right? Like, I mean, yeah, you guys are doing great things, like building talent. I know that Rappers Comp has put out a lot of quality footage. You guys got a lot of up and coming talent and superstars and stuff like that. But yeah, we didn't see Nugget this year, which is kind of like upsetting. We didn't get what we did. We only got like 1 Hades battle.
Yeah, well, I think we got the 2. There was one that the footage was never released due to personal reasons. The battlers both agreed not to release it, and then there was Hades versus Wobbly Handed Surgeon, guy that I battled when I came back. But I don't think last year was a good year for Hades. I know from speaking to him that he wants to be more active and bring a better quality this year. But the likes of Hades, it was an off year from Nugget. I don't know if it's because Rappers Full is gone, he's not battling. I don't know what's going on, if he's sick of it, whatever. But I don't know when he's going to be coming back. He also missed the likes of Roe B this year. He only had the 1 battle that I know of, and I would have been really sick to see him as well. And so a few of our heavy hitters from the last few years, like the top tiers, haven't been battling as much this year. But we are hoping to get a good few of them back into the mix with our Premier Battle is doing over here in the next few months.
Right. You guys have the Academy qualifiers coming up, right?
Yep, 6 days. If anybody is wondering where you can watch that, they will be recorded and put on Premier Battles Patreon. You'll see myself there qualifying for a spot to become Academy 23 champ.
Let's go.
Now, this will be reneged if I don't qualify, but just we're going to keep this in case I do qualify. No, they have the Academy next weekend. There's a few established names in there as well. You have the likes of Sonny Philo, Graham, I think Baylor's still in it. You have people that have been in this scene for years in this. They have the likes of the up and comers, some of the recent top tiers, and then some newcomers as well. So it's a healthy mix. I think it's really gotten people back into battle rap over here.
Yeah,
which is what we all want.
You guys have a history there. There is a culture in Ireland. You're not like starting from scratch,
Well, per se, we're kind of starting up a new era from scratch. There was there was the Fighting Irish DFI Don't Flop Ireland back in the days between 2009, 9, 10, 2014. That's also around the same time Rappers Comp Ireland was funded by my aunt Kim, but I took it over for her. But around that time, that's when it started. And then it was a bit quiet between 2014 2016 until Rappers Full was founded. Then from 2016, 17 up until last year was more or less the Rappers Full era. Now we're going into the we'll say the RCI Renaissance and the Premier Battles Ireland era. And to be honest, it does feel like we're starting over from scratch because we're bringing in new names. It's not the same style. Like the ideology of battle rap over here is completely different to what it was there. Like we're trying to branch away from that. Oh yeah, I remember watching the DFI battles back then. That's cool. That's history. But we look at history to not try not to repeat the same mistakes. So the things that would have went wrong at events or went wrong in general, we're trying to stray away from that and make battle rap as big as it can be over here.
That's fire. Super
Yeah,
fire.
that's great.
Yeah, I love how you guys tie a lot of the like on beat shit into what you're doing, because a lot of time it's very separate. This is on beat. This is an on beat league. This is
Oh no,
acapella league.
I think
And you've got a lot of battles. You can rap.
yeah. I think the thing with on beat is that's kind of like the misconception of what battle rap is to most people because they watched 8 Mile and that was it. But being able to mix in the likes of on beat and acapella battles into events in general, I think it just makes it a whole lot better and a whole lot more of a vibe, which is the plan going forward. But all I'm gonna say is keep an eye out this year, lads. Keep an eye out this year. Some of the names I've seen enter the academy, some of the stuff I've heard behind the scenes. Oh, it is gonna be exciting.
Let's go. Is there a geographical difference between where you are throwing like RCI events and where Viz is going to be doing Prem stuff? Like, is it Prem is pretty much going to be in Belfast? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Prem would. I don't think Prem's going to be pretty much in Belfast. I know they want to do events all over all over the country.
Oh,
Um,
shit.
we are trying to do the same as well. Only issue is the main demographic of the people that come to our events are from the Greater Dublin area. So maybe the surrounding counties, or in your case, the surrounding states, it may be easier for them to go to because it's a bus that all connected. But I'm still trying to work out the logistics on my side about putting events in different counties like Waterford, Galway, Limerick, because there's all these beautiful venues, but it's about attracting the right crowd and when to do it and more or less setting it up. I can't speak much on Prem because I'm not on their official team. I know things, but I wouldn't help them run things. I do know that Belfast was the initial. They want to bring a whole lot more to Dublin, and I think they really want to do something outside of the county, outside of the capital. But that probably I don't know if that's going to be a 2023 thing or a 24 thing. But from my understanding, they do seem to have it in the works.
That's super fire.
It really seems that like on both fronts, you guys have it all mapped out and planned, though, which is really nice to see. Like when you go into something with a plan, it's higher chance of success. So
Super inspiring.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well because when Rapid Full was there, yeah, they put on the sick events. I don't know if you've seen them, the likes of Broken Resolutions too. That was the biggest event that ever hit Ireland in its history of battle rap, like in the last few years. But I'll be honest, I was supposed to be on that card as well, but I was only 16 at the time, and I had to step away from battle rap for school reasons. But even so, just the planning. There was this one guy who came in around the start of 2019 and started being an investor for Rappers Full. The less I speak on his name, the better, because they honestly didn't do anything for us. Yeah, we had the money there, but we didn't have the planning. It was all last minute. Battlers would be getting put in the worst accommodation, the cheapest flights, airplanes be ripping off each other, coming in the battle in small room environments, and then they will blow all their money on the one big event, but the quality would go from D tier to A tier, then back to F tier, and it was fairly intermittent for a time. Whereas the likes of RCI and Premier Ireland, like me, I will plan an event 6 months in advance. If I don't do something in the first quarter of this year, that's fine because I have more time to prep it. Same with
Mhm.
Prem. I know they have a whole year's calendar of events they want to roll out in Ireland. So they have a whole structure. It's even the same when they're in the UK. Like Premier Battles always stay on top of everything in Ireland, the UK, in Europe, wherever they're doing. They have that structure. And that's the thing we never had was proper structure. So bringing this structure in to the Irish battle rap scene is gonna make it. I want to say it's gonna make it elevated. It's 5 times more than it is at now.
Sick.
And the demographic of what the top 10 list could be by the battle bar next year could be completely different because of it.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think we came to the same conclusion that this is sort of like Phoenix rising from the ashes type of thing. But it's great to hear you talk about it because, like, honestly, yeah, I'm feeling like super inspired. Like, you have a lot of talent. You've got a lot of people who have a lot of experience now, and you can learn from whatever happened this last year, and really focus on developing these guys. I mean, I'm super hyped to see what comes out of the academy, especially
honestly. So am I.
Yeah, hey?
Honestly, so am I. Like the talent that has come out of Ireland in the last few years, like from when Visual debuted to the Jester debuting, like those are just a few examples. So Brian, Scabman, the Scotty, all these guys, they've been on the come up, and they're like some of the top tiers. Even Lizzie C,
Yeah,
like
Lizzie C.
C, even Red Wolf, like them guys, they're getting up there. You get me?
Yeah.
So like we're gonna have a new crop of killers that contend with the world. So that's the one thing that excites me the most. Because it's not just gonna be seen as a niche hobby. I was like, oh no, it was Ireland, we go over there, whatever. Yeah, it'd be easy battles, easy wins, easy dubs, say no more. You walk over to Ireland, you get a name that you're over here. Oh my sorry, somebody tried to ring me there. Um
You're right.
yeah, they literally ran my phone. I was like, no caller ID, I'm not getting answered. But no, literally literally like the amount of top tiers we have this year is just like this year into battles is just unreal. Like I would even say Phoenix rising out of the ashes. I would just say it's a snake shedding its skin because there's now time for that cobra to strike on the scene, and then when everyone sees what the cobra's been hiding underneath that, it's gonna be a completely different conversation.
Are you a battle rapper coming up with metaphors like that?
Yes, I am a battle rapper.
Facts.
Yeah, I've been battling for the last I've been in the battle scene for the last 8 9 years. Ever since I was a kid, started battling when I was 15. I'm 20 now, and this the academy will probably be my most active year yet, alongside with a few UK debuts, maybe a potential US debut. I'm not going to say any more on that until I get to the first half of the year.
Let's
But
go.
I am excited to be as a promoter, as a battler, to see how Ireland's going to grow.
Be on the lookout for SBE.
Facts.
So what your last one is you and ScoMo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go check out SBE versus ScoMo as well.
Facts.
Yeah, that's on the Premier Battles YouTube channel. Run up them views because I can say everything I want to promote it, yeah, but they're like, don't know, watch later. So if you want to see two people on the spectrum scream at each other for 3 minutes each, there you go.
We will put that we'll put that link in the description. So 100% check that out. ScoMo, friend of the show. Man, just love it. Just love hearing you talk about what's happening, man. This is really dope. So we got to get into it. We got to get into this top 10 this year. It's not pretty. It's like, most guys had 2-3 battles. It's really, it's kind of all over the place, and it's not anybody's fault, but it's just the way it is. I think it was the same in a few places. Like it's kind of like that in Nigeria and in Canada as well. But yeah, I mean, can we say definitively? I think everybody knows. I think everybody knows. And that's almost why we didn't have him on the show. But like Viz has done an amazing job championing Ireland and Irish battle rap, and behind the scenes with Premier, but as well in front. He had that run at the end of last year where he battled Path and then Death the Kid, and then who am I forgetting?
Koj.
And then Koj. Jesus.
Yeah, Koj as well.
Koj, me, Death the Kid in 3 months.
Yikes. That is not.
I have to say, yourself and Visuals battle is probably one of my favorite battles of this year besides Frankie Fraser versus Scoop.
That's
And
a
I
good
was
one, too.
kicking myself I wasn't in the room for that. You both came A1. You showed why you're one of the best your side. Fizz showed why he's one of the best that Irons ever produced. And I was like, I normally never say this is a match made in heaven, but pretty
No.
damn close. Pretty damn
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, it was
Sick.
a surprise matchup. No one expected it to happen, but
Oh, I remember watching that live stream and Biggsy announced it. I was like, what?
Sick. Let's
How?
go.
Nah, it was one of the best ones that I've seen so far.
And he, what else did he do this year? He also battled Georgie Roots earlier in the year. Is that right? So
Yeah.
just 4.
An absolute, yeah. That was probably one of Visual's best showings. He is very critical of himself, but I even texted him saying that was one of your best showings that you've had this year. And in his last little run as well. And it was easy. It seemed to be easy work for him. Like if you had told me that the guy that he was battling was one of the best up and comers out of the UK in 2021, I wouldn't have believed you because of how easy he makes it look. I think that's the thing. It wouldn't matter if he is battling. Like, he could be going from battling you to battling Quill, who he's battling on February 25th to Plug 2. Just
Yep.
get that out there. But he's battling like these top tiers, and he doesn't make it seem easy for them. He gives them a fight, and you
100%.
walk into. And the good thing about him is as well, you're walking into a visual battle. You know you're not going to get anything less than fireworks.
Yeah, 100%. No, he had one hell of a year, and I think that's just the scope of everything that he did in and around. You can't put anyone else at number one when it comes to the year 2022 for Irish battlers. So
Honestly, he'd be in my number one spot as well, very easily.
Okay,
Wait,
that's
are we
fair.
live on YouTube as well? I've just seen a YouTube comment there.
yeah,
Oh yeah, we're on everything. We're on Deezer.
I
Like we're on platforms that specifically cater to small European countries. It's wild. It's everywhere. We're on all the shits.
oh my god, no,
What else?
that's
What else?
actually mad.
We gotta decide now, I guess. Like the top 5. The top 5 after Viz it's kind of a toss up, right? I mean, Lizzie C did a ton of work this year. She was really, and by say ton of work, she had 3 battles, right? 3.
Yeah,
It's
about
a
that.
lot. It's a lot compared to the rest of Ireland right now, you know. Um,
It
but
is,
but
but let
also,
me put it into I could put it into context for you. Is like although she had the 3 battles, her first battle back in February was against the former Rapperswil champion. Her second battle was the Ombi Cash, one of the OGs of the battle rap scene. And then in April, which was the last one I think she did for the moment, don't know if she did anything else after that. She battled one of the best the UK's ever produced in Pedro. And in almost every single battle that she's been in this year, you watch them back, you kind of find it hard to make an argument for the other person winning against them, you know? So although it's 3, Lacey's the type of person where she would rather take 3 battles in a year and they be top quality than take 30 battles and they all be mid D
ooh,
tier.
that shit. And versus Georgie Roots as well, right? But that one didn't go through.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that did go through. I'm still waiting for the footage to come back. Per the battlers' request, they want to keep that archived just because of the way it went down at the night. Um, More or less, there are people who were there at the event who wouldn't hold it down when the battlers were performing, so they had to use microphones. We've never had to use microphones in that venue before, so it doesn't like. Although I watched the quality back, it does seem good. But out of respect for them, I'm still gonna hit them up and find out. But out of respect for them, they want to do a rerun of their battle, or they want to get it defaulted, which considering the situation it was on the night, it's understandable. But listening to both their rounds, I'm not going to say he won, but I can tell you it was one of their best showings there. I might have a chat with them, try to get that footage out because that could sway the shape of things for people in regards of how active Lizzie's year was and how good she's progressed.
That's super fire. Who else are we talking about in that range? Raptor? Sorry, it's not Raptor. It just
and Jester Black as well, going over
Raptor
to
and Jester
the
Black.
Yeah,
state.
How I see it this year, and this is just my personal opinion, you'd have Visual number one, Jester number two, Lizzie number three, Raptor number four, and then I'd put Graham at number five. Those are the only two off the top of my. Those are the only three off the top of my head that I can think that have actually had battles this year, and have been active. And that's just my personal opinion. So anyone listening on YouTube doesn't like it, that's a you problem. Cry about it. But those
Facts.
5 names have been some of the best that have been active this year.
That was a
And
very
then-
polite way of saying it.
For real. And like really, you're in Ireland, right? So like I like your list. I think your list is spot on. You get the first-hand account of it. I don't know if I trust a robot to interpret the list that well.
And I don't trust a robot for anything. So
But we'll see. We'll see what's up. Yeah, so Raptor had a good year. You liked his year. And then what are we saying about Jester? Jester went to the US and he battled on No Coast.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, he battled the No Coast champion THC, if I remember. And then he also came back. So I think there's CHC. This is just from what I can remember off the top of my head. There's CHC, there was Crash, there was Sam Hypes, there was Bison Briggs. That's just some of the names that he's battled this year. And his recent one would have been Crash and Bison Briggs, in which many people are saying that both Briggsy and Crash lost to Jester Black. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I had a chat with Briggsy afterward. Briggsy is putting Jester into Division 3 because they know way in hell you're gonna disrespect the boss like that in the battle. But nah. I'm just saying. It was actually
You had me like,
no. He wouldn't do that.
like
Oh,
we're
well.
at Division 3. Oh shit.
But no, the way they had the way Jester's year went like this year, like honestly, I'm proud of the bro. I'm proud of him. I say to him all the time, like even though I'm in this academy and there's a chance that I might have to dust up with him at the end of the year if all things go well. It's not like he hasn't earned that right to be in the top 5 when we're speaking about Ireland's best in battle rap.
That's super fire, man. I fucking love that. I love that progression.
Yeah, honestly, like he's had one of the craziest progressions, like besides visual, like that's come out of our country. So I remember, believe it or not, he actually debuted against me in 2019, but it was a battle that was never shown. It was just for him to get his material out. And his first recorded battle would have been Terminal, which is quite a huge sum for me, the Terminal, going from me to a former title contender in the space of a few months. And to be honest, for someone's first battle to be recorded and published the way his was, it was unreal. Then the more battles he got, even his academy run, it was like a thing of beauty. It was like he listened to all the advice, he looked at all the wrongs and turned them into rights. And then look at him now. And if you're wondering, March 18th, he's back at it again at Ignition in Premier Battles Ireland in Dublin. But
yes, Red
like
Wolf.
the stuff he's done, the stuff he's done. Don't get me started about that one. I have to say impartial because I know both of them. Who's gonna win?
Man, we'll have you back on. We'll have you back on and we'll do a preview for a show or something like that.
No, 100%.
So,
And I will say get Fizz as well because he will give good insight because he both of them guys, But I keep on going off a tangent. But the point I'm trying to make there is that like his progression over the last few years, same as visuals, it's just been unreal. Like there's not that many people that can hand a torch to them in terms of progression.
I love it, man. Yeah, cool. Looking forward to 2023 from Jester Black. See what happens. Then
Very
we're gonna
interesting,
round
yeah.
out the rest of the top 10. I think it's like I mean, it's hard to say at this point because you got guys who had 2 battles, maybe 1 battle, and then it really comes down to preference.
Yeah.
I know, my guy Terminal, friend of the show, he's been, r/RapBattles. He was on the subreddit way back when it started. He had 2 battles this year versus Crow and Black T, which are good opponents.
Unfortunately, the one with Black T didn't happen because he had to pull out due to an injury with his hand because he couldn't write. So it was just the one with Crow.
So it was just the one with Crow, right? Okay. Damn, only
Yeah,
one
and
battle.
yeah, that's the thing. Like I think for 2023, because most of these guys aren't able to write anymore. I don't think Terminal's going to have an active this year as well because he's one of the academy coaches. But if the circumstances were different and he didn't injure his hand, chances are like he'd be a whole lot more active than he had planned to be now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because
that's the
he's like
thing. Like,
vet.
oh, he is one of the OGs. He was the first Irish battler to perform on King of the Dot. Nobody else has been able to do that yet.
Right, versus
Absolutely
Mackenzie.
nobody.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember that one. I think it was the King of the Dot and the Chalked Out collaboration event.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that, and I was like, yeah, no, I think that was the moment there where I said, you know what, I'm gonna take battle rap more serious. I'm gonna get a King of the Dot sometime.
Let's go, man. It's doable.
And
It's
But
doable. If I
I
can do it,
think
you can do it. Let's go.
100%, 100%. I think the one issue is we're doing the top 10 over here. Like I'd say maybe like a top eight. Like if you're asking me for my top eight, I would have to say visual number one, Jester number two. Gonna have I think I said Lizzie C, Raptor, and then I forgot who it was. Oh yeah, Guame. And then in the bottom half, I'd have ScoMo, Red Wolf, and I put myself in the bottom because even though I had 5 battles, there ain't no way in hell I had the year that they did.
Put him in.
But like the likes of ScoMo, he would be higher. But the thing is, like I think the thing with the academy was like he had those viral moments, but the opponents weren't on the same caliber as everyone else's, which is
Sure.
no shame to himself. It's
Sure.
just because of where he was battling and what it was. He was on the developmental cards for Premier Battles, so he wasn't getting the likes of the opponents that the likes of Visual or Jessica Black were getting. But he was still producing heat in those battles.
Definitely. He was
So
doing a lot of work. And the viral shit was crazy.
Yeah.
now
So good.
I had to say like a hater because that was literally just a few weeks after it was announced I was battling him. So I was like, nah, you can't do this now. You cannot do this to me now. Because I'm not gonna lie, that shit was fire, but
Oh
because
shit.
I had to see him, I was like, that's where it gets tough.
Facts. That's so dope. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's drop it. We gotta get BattleBot to drop this shit. BattleBot, what's going on here? You got your list?
The top 10 battlers in Ireland are.
Ooh, shit. We're all in mic'd, right? So we
Ooh,
can just talk over this.
We can, yes.
Damn.
damn.
Looks like the logo is covering up where it says Ireland, so we'll have to fix that. Oh, nobody would notice if I didn't point it
Top
out.
10
But
battlers.
so, like, immediately I'm noticing no Scotty. So BattleBot, you fucked up. It's whack.
Can't stand that
It's,
fucking
a-
logo, man.
BattleBot, you know
it's
you're gonna
about,
get
let's
it.
see.
You
I
already
need to
great,
screenshot
so
this
it's
for the
probably good to
lads.
do that.
For real. Well, we'll post it in the Irish battle rap group as well. But it seems like BattleBot is weighing, some performances a lot more than others. I think it weighs the work because ScoMo just did a bunch of battles, didn't he? He did 5 battles. He did the most battles. So I think that's probably
There's got to be something regarding the AI that's
Well,
causing it to have
all due
way.
respect to BattleBot, I also did the same amount of battles as ScoMo, and yeah, I'm not there, but nah, I'm only kidding. Nah, I think in an ideal world, I would have Jester Black higher than ScoMo and Lizzie at the moment. I would keep Terminal and Subrime there. Hades, although he was the champ, he wouldn't be as high just because of the way battles went for him this year.
right.
Guame should be a whole lot higher as well.
Mm.
Rovi, all respect to him, he is one of the best, but he only had the one battle this year. I don't know if he has the intentions of, battling as often. I think it's just one of them things where he's just living life, you know. So
Oh, that's
battle rap
cool.
isn't that thing for him. But even
Yeah.
so being mentioned in that is, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it a book. From an AI generated bot that you only have the one battle to share, you consider the top 10 and on. Do you know what? Say you take his flowers like that.
Okay, sick. That's dope. That's really diplomatic. BattleBot, like, what do you have to say for your
I have calculated 80 billion simulations and came to the same results.
80 billion? Do you believe that? Come on.
No.
If you're at 80 billion, why don't you go to 90? I don't know.
Seems
not
like
a
a very
robot.
large fake number.
You might need to get his graphics card updated on that.
Yeah.
For real, get your graphics card updated. Come on, BattleBot. Yo, Scotty, thank you so much for jumping on, especially short notice. It's really, really dope. And great to talk to you and hear all the things that you guys are working on. Rappers Comp Ireland, we're gonna put the YouTube link in there. We're gonna put your battle in there, and we're gonna put the PB Patreon as well. All the things that we said we would do. Is there anything you want to plug?
100%.
Anything, your socials?
Well, if you want to follow me on the Instagram, it's #8SB_. That's where I'm active the most. You'll be seeing behind the scenes for myself when I'm getting ready to face my opponent, which I'm not announcing to the day, on Premier Battles Academy 23 for the qualifiers. If you want to follow the Irish hip hop scene, better follow Rappers Comp Ireland on Facebook, Instagram. Follow Premier Battle UK on Twitter, on Instagram. Keep an eye out for the YouTubes and keep an eye on all them socials for the events coming up this year.
Dope shit. Awesome. Thanks again for jumping on, man.
Thanks, bro.
100%, man. You enjoy the rest of your stream, right?
Bang bang. Will do.
Peace.
Peace, G. Super dope. Oh man. Yo. Okay, we're gonna go straight from Ireland. Shouts out to SBE. That was really, really dope. Rappers Comp Ireland. We're gonna do all the links with all that. And we're gonna jump into Canada and bring on the GOAT, friend of the show, returning to the show to cover Canada with us, young viral the god.
Hey.
What's up, G?
Hey, gentlemen. How goes?
Very fire. What's your hoodie say?
Oh, existential dread. I gotta rep the Grizzlies.
That's just sick.
Let's go.
That's fire. Oh my god. You missed BattleBot. He's fucking up.
Yeah, I just caught him. Daft Punk needs to come get their mans.
Yo.
Yeah, more like daft in the head punk.
Someone's got to defend the BattleBot, and so it'll be me, I guess. But it's a very complex system, and I'm sure that he spends a lot of time with the bits and the bytes, making sure that the zeros and the ones are lined up.
He's crunching the datums.
Thanks. Oh man, dude, how's it going?
It's going great, man. It's good to be back. How are you boys?
Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah, maintaining.
Yeah,
maintaining.
We're at a steady level.
We've got to be 1,000% frank with you. An enormous event coming up a couple weeks from now. Talking about Canada, it's the return of King of the Dot to Canada. It's been years, and it's unfortunately the memorial event for Pat Stay. But the energy and the excitement for this event is just, I haven't seen anything like it before.
Yeah, monumental. Everything that's been announced so far, tremendously excited for. And it really is, the energy is reminiscent of, and again, rest in peace to him, long live Pat Stay. But when we lost Bender as well, it was that sense of coming together to pay homage and respect to just a titan and a tremendous loss for our community. And at the same time, also a revitalization of the scene in their memory, which is really beautiful to see.
Totally. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what King of the Dot does with this card in terms of bringing the newer KOTD talent, giving them opportunities and showcasing some of the guys that we have coming up. Because yeah, like you said, that's really crazy. And Pat leaving us and Bender not being around, it's just like, those are enormous people in the culture. It's great that they represent Canada, but just as far as the culture is concerned, it's an enormous hole to fill. Pause.
I would like that one.
All right.
Yeah.
You would really like that one.
But yeah, so let's talk about Canada. Let's be real. Canada last year, I know that we had Joey on a couple of weeks ago, and we spoke about it. It's different without King of the Dot. But Beast Mode stepped up. They did a bunch of events. Capital RapBattles was having events. Set the Bar was throwing stuff. BVB came back. Polyfreeze is starting the league up in Alberta. So we're sort of crawling back. We're sort of like making strides. And then this event coming up. I don't know. How was your 2022?
Sleepy. Yeah. No, it feels like we're at that point now where, especially with the return of King of the Dot, it's really formalizing that resurgency. But I think 2022 was a more gradual kind of awakening. I think it set a lot of things in motion for the scene to come together in the way that it is now. But I think it was very much just a slow return from dormancy. So very cool to see that garnering more momentum in the coming weeks.
Totally. And
would you say that you wish that you could have done more battles? Like, if you had the opportunity to, would you have done more?
100%, yeah. No, especially coming out of COVID and all the restrictions that kind of put a damper on what we could do as far as events. Did want to kind of restate my return a little more emphatically than ultimately I had the opportunity to. But at the same time, like I had things set up that fell through. Obviously want to try to run some of those now and have a much busier 2023. But I'm happy with my body of work for 22 as well.
Yeah, I mean, like it's interesting you say that. It's quiet, but man, the battle versus XQZ is enormous replay value, headlining Nukos Valentine's Day Massacre, and
somebody has to tell him to shut up because nobody else
in that battle.
He said the bad word of the show.
I thought particularly XQZ is he's just a natural talent. And then you had a great battle versus Dysfunctional on Beast Mode. Where I felt like it was a very much a catharsis. Like you were unloading some shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to implement some changes to my craft, which I think I did. That was a huge step forward, I think, in a lot of things that I've wanted to improve upon for a while, and it really gave me a template to use moving forward. And on that note as well, if we're talking about best in Canada for 2022, we got to give Dysfunctional his flowers because he stood in front of not only maybe my career performance to date, but Red Flag's career performance to date as well. And he held his own admirably in both battles. And I think he deserves kudos for that.
100%. Yeah, he's on my list. We who else are we talking about this year in Canada? Because I think that, when we're talking about building momentum, that 2023, this is the year we're really going to see people showing out on platforms and, it feels like warmed up, like we're into it now. But 2022, sort of all over the place. Not everybody was super consistent. I mean, I think that we're all on the same page that Pat Stay, Sharon, and Franchise are the top three. Like these guys are guys who are traveling, smoking it, absolutely incendiary performances every time. Am I totally wrong? Am I totally off base there?
I don't think so.
No, I think, in terms especially of profile, like those are the guys that are really putting the country on their back and representing us elsewhere as well, which I think goes a tremendously long way.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, Pat had one battle, and I still think that it might be the best out of every Canadian battle that there was. He was just so different, and even in a compliment battle against Dunch, like it just shows effortlessly how good he was.
Every single bar, there's no filler, everything is hilarious and clever and has that, and then implemented and performed with such style and ease. It's just, it's really special for sure. What a great battle.
I'd say that's a top three right there
for real. And Franchise was really busy too. I mean, he was in the States early in the year. I think he was on the Riot, if I'm not mistaken. Versus where are we at here?
Was it Chef Trez or it was
Drugs? it was drugs.
Mhm.
I thought he was on the riot or somebody else. I don't know, but it's not my job. It's the BattleBot's job, and I hope that they figured it out. I hope that he's figured it out. I don't know if BattleBot has a gender preference. I should ask him his pronouns. BattleBot, what are your pronouns? Oh, he's ignoring us.
Okay. Well.
So then, it really becomes about the 7 after that, and I think that there's a ton of people that I would put in that 7, because there's really like a lot of really good talent that maybe only had 1 or 2 battles. You know, people who weren't super active but were really, really dope anyways. I'm thinking like Joey Gambello is a great example of. I mean, he's not for what I just said, but he's a great example because he's so super talented and he would easily be in the top 10 if he had a battle last year. But I think he had 2 battles and one of them didn't happen and the other one didn't get released. So sort of like a wash. We don't have him in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
exactly.
So.
It's I mean, even in this chat, right? It's like I think all of us have credible arguments for ourselves, but it's just unfortunately the body of work isn't necessarily what we wanted to produce in terms of scale. Like, I mean, obviously flowers to that. I mean, my guy went out to the UK and had a banger against Visual. Went out to New York and had a banger against Syntax. Like, tremendous year for you, and it's just a shame that it's kind of capped at those 2 battles.
Yeah. Could have been more. Sure, there's so much more. Yeah, we're on the same page. There's so much more that could have been with the potential and the talent that we have. But we're there. It's coming.
Yeah, this year's going to be a big year, I think.
What else? Who else do you like this year in your top 10? Who do you like in Canada?
I mean, I'm going to sound like a broken record because it's all of these guys that don't have that many battles to their name, but I'm such a huge proponent of their craft. But G-Show had a phenomenal showing against Patron. He was performance of the night at a really star-studded, cross-country event in the summer. And then, unfortunately, his battle with Empty Money didn't go down because I feel like that would have really announced it with a little more emphasis. We saw the return of Mike Wild this year. Who I've always been a huge fan of, and he had a fantastic battle against Chronic.
So good for his return and debut on STB.
Yeah, facts.
But then again, yeah, exactly. That's only 2 battles here from Mike Wild. It's that and Creative. And Franklin. No, Mike Wild. No. He battled that.
Wild didn't battle
Franklin. That's it.
So yeah, on that note, Creative as well had a great year because he had his Mike Wild battle. He had the Franklin battle, which I thought was a pretty decisive victory against really credible competition for him.
Yeah.
I want to say he had a couple earlier in the year as well that I can't remember off the top of my head.
They weren't, I think that he was disappointed with how they went. They weren't up to his standards. He's made some posts on Facebook about it, that he really had a lot going on in his life and recommitted himself to his performance and his writing and stuff like that. So the second half of his year is a lot more of what he wanted. His first half of his year was Stevie P and HK and Machete Trevi. And I think it was the loss to Machete Trevi that was sort of like the impetus between those battles. Because yeah, man, his battle versus Mike Wild, I mean, he was just like insane. I saw his commitment, his energy was just masterful. Really great performance. He's on my top 10 for sure. No question.
Facts. Jo had a great showing against Cortez. I think that was Beast Mode Battle of the Year, and deservedly so. Held his own against a vet. And that was...
And the Blue Monster from Space Jam. What am I thinking of?
Chili Palms.
Chili Palms. He had that fucking bar versus Chili Palms. It was so funny. Yeah, again, only 2 battles, but really good quality battles. I'm a huge Jo fan. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm. Big facts.
He's super crazy. Dope. What else you got? Wise Guy. So here's another one. Wise Guy. We're talking about people who put in work. Wise Guy's got 5 battles last year. He's headlining events. He's battling pretty much everyone. I don't think he's turning down battles. You know what I mean?
Wise Guy does not duck smoke. No,
he's not. He's
very outside.
Yeah,
Dan's mad again.
Especially he's going to put himself into a great conversation for 2023 in the top 10 wise guy. I mean, he's already had one in was Kelowna this year or was that last year?
That was this year.
That was
versus me.
Yeah, no, that was last year, wasn't it? Am I losing it?
What
Are we counting it as to when it happens or when it comes out?
I'm talking about right now. Last year's 2022, Cope. That's why I said.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
No. But he's already battled on CRB in Ottawa, and he's battled on Beast Mode. I can't remember if that was again. Was that before January?
I think that was last year, yeah, because that was the War Crimes toy drive.
Right.
War Crimes, right.
Yeah.
War Crimes.
So I mean, Wise Guy's everywhere. He's going all across the country. He's saying, "Oh, there's a platform. I'll battle there. Here, I'll battle here," and he's really putting together a great little resume so far.
Totally.
For the last year.
Yeah.
It's great to see him back and killing his shit too. Like, I mean, he's, he has that style that nobody else is doing, that nobody else does. It's super fun. Like in the building, it's very accessible and brings the vibe up. Like lots of people really enjoy it. I think he definitely deserves to be in the conversation. He's in my top 10 for sure. Very productive year for him. Great to see him back. Definitely. Who else had lots and lots of points? We got a point system here. We got a point. So for people who don't know, the BattleBot is using a point system and the fan vote. So if you're on Reddit, we made threads and nominated all these battlers. So you can go back and you can nominate battlers or upvote. We'll do it again next year, so we'll make it happen. But then the BattleBot takes this information and creates a list out of it. So looking strictly at how busy people were. Out east, they had a lot of guys too. Apex won the Beast Mode chain. He had a great year. He battled Emerson Kennedy on Beast Mode as well. And so, like, you've got somebody here, I think, what is it? He had Tipsy Russell, A1, Xavier on CRB, and Emerson Kennedy too. So,
yeah,
pretty damn
that's a
good
productive year for him.
For real. Wouldn't be surprised to see him on that list.
That's one of those things too, where we were talking with the Irish rankings when it came up. We don't know the X factor that BattleBot is using to rank things, but who knows, right? Like a championship match and that kind of stuff that might play into it as well, and how good a year someone had. So,
ooh, handsomeness, please. And and who else? Like an A1. I think A1 had a good year. I know this is probably going to be not super popular, but I'm a big A1 fan. Fuck it, I said it. I'm a big A1 fan, and all that comes with it. No, I love This is ruined to the show. I love everything that he's done in the ring last year. I feel like his writing was really, he stepped it up. He wanted to be noticed as one of the best writers in Canada, and I feel like he really pushed his pen. Nat, you saw him live, so you know what it's like to be there for him. But we were only watching on YouTube, and I thought like he was productive. He won a championship, and he had some great bars. I thought it was close, the battle with Apex too, where he lost. So
yeah, I mean, being a judge for that, I might dispute that to a certain extent. But no, like I think he did well. And again, yeah, in the ring, I think he was pushing himself, especially in those kind of attributes that he holds. So I think decent year for him as well. Maybe not as good as Apex's, but up there in the conversation.
Who else are we talking about? Who is in your top 10? I want to shout out Chronic Walters. He only had 2 battles, but man, they were good. He had a great 1-rounder with Franchise and a really, really solid battle versus Mike Wild for his return. So, man, if he's more active next year, anything's possible. But man, I don't know. What do you think?
I feel like we've kind of exhausted a lot of the contenders here. Like we said, it's been a quiet year to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can already say out of 2023, there's so many more people that are battling so much more often that you could include in this, right? Like even considering like Johnny Knox and Scott Free having a Beast Mode Classic. And so both of those guys who are vets in Canada that you really can't include on the list from last year that you can now put on that list for this year. So this year's going to be a lot easier, I'd say.
Yeah. I think it's important for people to make that distinction. This is not the best all time in Canada. This is what happened in 2022 alone. Yeah. So definitely there's probably going to be some names left off. Who am I thinking of? People who did really well, who may not. Machete Trevi. Sorry, I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. Trevi, Glock Party. Let's go. Best in Quebec right now. While Chrome is semi-retired, we'll say. I don't know. No question. Trevi runs Quebec. That is it.
Yeah. Oh, indisputably.
He would hate that you said that. Because I'm pretty sure he hates Quebec and does not want to run it at all.
Sorry, you're in charge, bud. He had 3 battles, and one of them was versus Creative out here in Vancouver, and another one was he had a French battle versus CZA. I don't know if that's Sythe. I don't know how we pronounce that, but I should learn. Cope number 5. I'll take that. LOL. Path number 1. Let's go. Dan knows what's up. Dan knows his way into our hearts. I'm about.
Put me above ellipsis? Okay, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I'm cool with that.
We got to talk next time I see you, Dan.
We're gonna talk. Yeah, I fucking don't know what I was talking about. Come on. Oh yes. Okay. So Trevi had 3 battles, and then he had a 1-rounder versus another French guy. Shit, I forget. Fuck.
You can't be battling French guys and be mad about Quebec.
Yeah.
You're stuck with it at that point.
One of them was on DMS. 2 of them were on DMS, if I'm not mistaken. So it's harder. I don't think there's enough. There's not as much publicity. Yeah, Spook 1. That's what it was. There's not as much media. There's not as much attention happening on DMS. In terms of like the battle rap culture, I feel like they do enough of their own shit. Like they're promoting and their events are packed and they're having a lot of fun. And he's killing it up there. He's a big celebrity out there. But like as far as the battle rap culture is concerned, I don't feel like it's not really pinging on the radars, which is too bad because he's an enormous talent. And when he phones it in, it's better than 99% of everybody else. So I'm a big Machete Trevi fan, obviously.
Yeah.
No bias from the Glock, but no, I agree. Like no Trevi is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Pepe had he didn't have the biggest year, but he did have 2 battles, and he battled.
He battled the Saga, which is a big look as well. Like totally. That's a good battle for him.
Yeah, and Tycoon Tax. So I expect to see him on these lists too. It's a lot of talent, and it's been the same sort of thing with Nigeria and Ireland and Canada, is that there's only so many events, so battlers really only have like 1 or 2 opportunities on average. So basically, I don't know how much faith I put into this list. But BattleBot, he's a robot, so he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Shall we do it?
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
All right.
The top 10 battlers in Canada are...
Woo!
Oh, narrowly beats him out. 4th and 5th place.
I don't know if I agree with that one there, BattleBot.
Oh man, I'm sure
I take back anything disparaging I've said about the AI. This is what I like to see. Automation is the future.
Okay, so it's dope to see Apex up there because he did have the title match and the Emerson Kennedy battles. He did have a really strong year. I'm glad that Apex is getting recognition. That's really dope. I'm shocked that we're not seeing Creative and that Wise Guys had hired, because they both did a ton of work last year.
Yeah. Let's just ignore that last half though, and let's talk about 4 and 5 here, because I think there's a key error that BattleBot made here.
Key error.
Yeah.
I think this is why they. This is why they paid.
I have calculated every possible multisyllabic combination and used this to determine objective rankings. Therefore, every list I have made is fact.
You can't argue with that.
I honestly think you can.
It's hard to argue with.
You can't argue with facts.
We're gonna have to have a 4-5 switch competition here, Ellipsis, I think.
Yeah,
At some point,
we might just have to.
see me this year.
Mm-hmm. And the BattleBot can say the same thing next year.
I personally, I love this top 5. I feel like, it's a weird year for Canada. So really anything can happen. But the top 5, it's really strong. I feel like that's a really good representation of the best that we have in Canada. And rest in peace, Pat Stay. He's not going to be facts. He's not going to be on the list next year. So it's like you hope that his work inspires people to really step up, because Canadian battle rap, we got a lot of stuff, but what are we going to do with it?
Yeah, this is our year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Shit me. That's been great. That's Canada. So I don't know. I feel like we'll see what happens with this King of the Dot event in Toronto, and Beast Mode's got a bunch of cards coming up. I know that BVB, they're doing some rap thing. I thought they were going to announce a battle rap card, but it's like some rap stuff, which is cool. Keep it active. And STB, Set the Bar, has an event in April, I think. Is that right?
That's what I hear through the grapevine. There might be a little something going down there. But,
okay, fire.
Yeah.
And then Freezer Burnt Battles, check them out in Alberta. They've got some stuff happening too. Path, why don't you save me while I do some other stuff?
Save you? I don't know what you want me to save you with.
Save me, please. And
you're like, you're drowning, and you're like, yo, throw me a life raft. And I'm like, I don't have a fucking life raft to throw you.
Where did this water come from?
What is happening right now?
This is like a flood of your own machinations. Yeah. This guy.
This just shows up out of the blue. Hey, Pat, save me quick while I go do some stuff.
Like, what have you gotten yourself into, my guy? The BattleBot's going rogue in the background as we speak, and he's just reconnecting wires.
He wants me to go, you know what? I could just shit on BattleBot he'll probably hate that, but I could shit on BattleBot until he's back.
There we go. Talk your shit.
Robot.
Path versus BattleBot 2023.
Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started. I still don't even understand why we needed AI technology to do all this stuff. I felt like we were doing just fine on our own.
I don't know, man. You gotta have some objectivity. You gotta get all of the multisyllabic computations, all the zeros and the ones.
That sounded like bullshit to me, man. I don't know what to tell you. Multisyllabic computations. That's just gibberish. That's robot gibberish.
Pronouns /bot.
I guess. Oh, he's back now.
Do you guys want to just start on America?
Do we want to start on America? Yeah, I mean,
sure.
I'm going to try and wrangle our last guest for the United States of America. But
okay, trying to wrangle him. So he must be from southern states.
I'm an American citizen. I can speak on
it. Are you actually?
I'm half and half, unfortunately for me. I just got to keep Uncle Sam from finding out about that.
Oh, man, your opponents are going to have a field day with that one, whoever they may be when they see this.
Yeah, no kidding. Whoever they may be. Hopefully not anybody present now or watching the chat.
Definitely not somebody who's wanting to switch the 4 and 5 spots.
I love that I already battled you, so I'm never in the crosshairs. It's great. We could just be friends. But I had no idea you were half American. Damn.
I got to keep that on the low. Keep my Canadian cred up. Need to go buy some maple syrup after this.
I mean, when it comes to, so when we're talking America and we're talking about the top 10 battlers from 2022 in America, we're basically just doing champion's job for them and talking about the URL and then the couple standouts who never battle on URL.
Jay Black is the other J.O. Jay Black is watching this show, and they're going to base their champion stuff. I've talked to Mark, I talked to Jay all the time. They're going to look at this and they're going to be like, okay, we'll use this as the template.
Is Jay the battle god?
Oh.
Now you have to do a sound comparison. I know that some people think that it's ellipsis, which is really funny, but we've just proven that it isn't because we had the battle.
Yeah,
it's ellipsis.
Really?
Yeah,
because
you've seen us in the same place at the same time.
He put his name at number 4 over me, so it might be him. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
It's really...
If it was me, I'd sneak myself in a little lower just to not arouse suspicions.
Hopefully, that will be smart.
Still be above path, but a little lower.
It put me extremely low.
When we talk about America, we are talking about the best in the world. Like it's awesome that we are covering for shade at everybody that we're covering all of the battlers around the world, but the top 50 in America will give the top 10 in every country a big old run. So there's definitely a lot more to consider here. There's a lot of battles that aren't on YouTube, and I know that the BattleBot scrapes from verse trackers, so that's been really difficult. But it's a BattleBot, and the thing about America is, if people are upset, good. Sounds good.
Just generally, that's the thing about America.
Yeah.
If people from America are upset, then it's just a regular ass day.
Facts. Dan's Madigan is a huge Geechee Gotti fan. I can see that. I see that there's a lot of similarities in their styles personally. But I mean, the top, what we're talking about here is the debate between the top 3, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And there's a lot of conjecture. Is conjecture the right word? Ellipsis?
Contention, conjecture, speculation.
Speculation.
Yeah.
Sure. About people who I don't know. What are we talking about? We're talking about Ramanitty, Shotgun Shug, and JC Swamp.
Raccoons.
115%.
Bill Collector won the KTD thing.
Yeah.
Big argument for him, for sure.
Totally. So there's a handful where it's really a tough decision. But I don't know. What's your top 10 look like?
I mean, you definitely need those 5 in the conversation. I think that's pretty inarguable at this point. I'll say, you have to give Pass his flowers for making it to the finals of the King of the Dot season. We'll also say Free Surf goes without saying. But he deserves to be in the conversation as well. Like, he took JC, who had a lot of momentum going into their battle, and beat him decisively in such a way that it really interfered with JC's own kind of champion contention. And then had against Cortez as well, which had been one of those sort of longer percolating grudge matches. So I think, barring kind of the unfortunate circumstances, he had a really good year, and hopefully he's out soon.
Yeah, I would say that Surf definitely with how he was undefeated by rounds. He had a Gemini-like streak there where it was, not just beating guys, but 30ing them. And I think that also, when Surf kind of, everything that happened to him, Shug picked that right back up, and he went on a little 30ing spree there against very large names, big competition that people were expecting him to get 30'd by, and coming out and decisively winning.
Especially Chess, Verb, like, these are not amateurs by any stretch, and to win resoundingly against them, Chess especially, like, that was a very decisive victory for Shug. So definitely part of the conversation. Easy had a tremendous year as well against similar competition. The fact that he's gone arguably undefeated against, the class that preceded him, and big names like Shine, against Goods, against Calico. Like, these are marquee names, and he arguably has not lost to any of them, which is impressive in its own right.
Yes, I would say they're debatable a lot more. I think people had higher expectations for Easy just because of the year he had previous, which was just incendiary and just really put him on the map. But you're not wrong. You can't argue that he went up against giants this year and came away with debatables.
I believe your last guest is waiting for their link there, Cole.
Oh, what's up, G? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, what's up, G? I sent it to him. I sent it to him on Facebook. I sent it to you on Facebook, bro. Hey. Okay, so
then
yes.
I guess we also
Please.
got to talk. We always have to talk A-Ward.
A-Ward.
Always.
Very true.
The non-URL guy. That crazy non-URL guy. What's he doing?
He's doing his own thing, I think. It seems
Yeah,
to be working
he
out
made
for
his
him.
own lane. And exactly, like, the fact that he's put himself in a conversation that seems to orbit around the URL without ever touching the stage is really a testament to it, to his talent and just his strength of schedule as well. The fact that he's having all of these matches against top tier credible competition without needing to touch the stage that a lot of these guys is really their home league. Like, that's huge. Him and Nitty is arguably battle of the year, so he needs to be in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think that we're going to come down to, and the crux that will make all of everybody's top 10 list in the US is, how much do you value battles that are on the URL versus the hard work that you put in and great work that you put in on other leagues? Because we're talking about Easy having a really strong year, and he's got a fraction of the battles that A-Ward has. So I mean, what do you care about, right? If you're an A-Word fan, you're getting content all year long. You're getting content every month. It's like a subscription service. Damn. He's got 12 battles that I can count. There are probably more.
Yeah, at least.
He definitely has more. And him versus Solcon's coming out in a couple days. I saw Lex.
I think tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow,
from what I saw from Lex. So, and that's going to be, I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah.
Right. So that'll be the difference too, is that, when you're talking about the big leagues, it's not just that it's the big league, it's that Easy battled A-Ward and he battled Calico, like he battled big names. And A-Ward is going around and he's having an amazing performance on all these smaller leagues, but he's battling guys like, that are maybe not less known, maybe less of a threat. Let's be real. He's battling guys that you don't know.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for that too. Like, that's, there's a lot of underserved markets that, you don't have a URL. You don't even have necessarily, these offshoot leagues. So it is really giving these local audiences opportunities to see that kind of top tier talent, which I think is commendable. But at the same time, it does kind of hurt your case in these sort of arguments where it's, how much do you weight your performance and how much do you weight who is your performance against? What's the caliber of the battle as a whole, and does that at a certain point start to detract from your momentum or the case you can make for yourself?
Right, because the haters, and I am not one of them, but the people who dislike A-Ward are going to say, yeah, you beat all those other guys, but when you were up against big names, they made you look human. There's a lot more.
I don't know though. That's the thing. I'd say that when it comes to Easy's year in 2022, I'd say that it's comparable. You could pick any of those two battles and they're comparable to A-Ward versus Ill Will and A-Ward versus Rum Nitty. Like Ellipsis just said, Ward and Nitty was the best battle of the year. So
that's true.
Sure. How can you detract and say that, all those extra ones really don't matter?
It's hard to say. I'm going to say we just got NASA McMahon, battle rapper and promoter in the States.
What's up with y'all?
Thank you for jumping in with us, man, for the conversation.
Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Coming through
Yes,
great.
indeed.
Okay, good. I think my focus off. Try to get my man get shit cut. What's good with y'all? Man, I've been busy with the kids all week, man. I've been sick. Was busy with the kids, but I'm here.
Well, we appreciate you making time for us, man. You look sharp.
I appreciate it, NASA McMahon. You know I got to stay with the suit. You know.
Now, NASA, you're a battler and a promoter, and you're not out of Detroit, are you? I thought.
No, I'm out of West Memphis, Arkansas. I'm from the South.
It's very, very close, though. Really, really close.
Really close, yeah. It's a hike away.
Right? About the 5-minute ride. That's cool. And what's the league that you got going down there?
League of Championship Culture, abbreviated to LCK. We just say LOC. So, kind of fucked up spelling, but still, it goes.
That works. Acronymly. That
works.
Right. Oh, ellipsis. I'm just gonna butcher the English language because you're here. I'm just gonna destroy it. Don't take me for granted. Or
I know where you live, Cope. I'll find you.
Okay, so NASA, we're just jumping into the top 10 here and talking about people who absolutely must be there, and it's just a matter of where they are.
Danny Myers.
Shit!
Every year, because it's not just about. I always tell him he personifies, like if battle rap was a person, it materializes into a person. This is Danny Myers. He battle anybody, anywhere, main stage, small stage. He always top 10. No matter the position, he's always going to be top 10 every year. He puts in too much work. So that's one person that absolutely must be there. I hear y'all talk Bill Collector. He won KOTD the season. Definitely there. To me, Swamp, because I don't think people imagined his year to be the year he had. You know what I mean? And he beat like some tough. I have him beaten. I think he beat Tay Rock, Suge, and the people we will put in the top 10. Like he's beat them. He beat Rom Nitty.
Yeah.
For me personally, Swamp will be number one just because the degree of difficulty compared to how people view his style. And he, certain of us are entertainers, or we talking, we run into a Rum Nitty, and that's a problem. However, Swamp has found a way to beat even people who counter his style, and that's difficult. I think he had, to me personally, as a person who watched everybody, he had the most difficult challenges. Tay Rock, shit. Oh man, come on, man. Like Nitty, and he beat them all to me.
Challenges that you probably weren't expecting either. I think that's the other thing is we're talking about Easy. After the year he had in 2021, you expect him versus these big names. It's sort of like, but when Swamp comes in, it's like, oh shit, Swamp, you're up against Rum.
Yeah, Swamp. And with Easy, Easy seemed unbeatable. I have Easy winning his battles, but he already seemed, he should be top 10, but he already seemed it's hard to imagine him losing because he's so well-rounded. Swamp came back out of nowhere because I think 2021, you can't really remember 2021 for Swamp, but then 2022, he kind of comes out and like proves everybody wrong. Even this battle against JC, it's debatable. I mean, he lost the voting, but it's a debatable battle if you take away like people having the judge in the moment. So I think Swamp. He has too many other reasons why you will put him number one for me, but he does deserve to be at least top 3. And that's my opinion from like how I just look at it.
Okay, so the devil's advocate. I'm going to do devil's advocate right here.
Okay, yeah.
Because I believe everything that you're saying is pretty legit. There could be a case made that the people who battled him fucked themselves, and the small battles that he did on not small battles, the battles he did on small leagues, he choked and he didn't have like the greatest performances. Like, okay, who won the battle between Swamp and Tay Rock? was it raccoons?
I was there. It was Swamp. Swamp beat him. Swamp beat the raccoon shit. Like was because it wasn't like it was at a certain part. Swamp jump where the crowd was kind of like booing Swamp. So it wasn't like they was just doing it to Tay-Rock. That crowd booed Danny Myers. That crowd booed Funds. That crowd turned on Sythe Dropout because Sythe Dropout rapped too long, and he was fire at first. Like Sythe Dropout, he rapped too long. And I know Flair Soul cut his round short because I heard him outside. He was smart, like, okay, this crowd ain't bullshitting. So that I think because I know these guys, I talk to a lot of them, like everybody I named, except for Bill Collector, I've talked to literally, you know what I'm saying, do business with or whatever. So I got a little bit more inside knowledge of different things. But your devil advocate makes sense. That's why somebody can have another opinion. Because it just depends on how things weigh to you. I just weigh the fact that I did not expect that man to have the season he had. We didn't expect him to come out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he always had this star power that we was waiting for him to materialize. And I think he did it last year. Now, when you go to the small leagues, because, yeah, you're a league owner, so you pay attention. We scout. We pay attention to the smaller leagues. Yeah, that could be true. Some of the small league, but I was at a small league jump and Lynn, I want to say Lynn, but it's like by Lynn, Massachusetts, by Boston, whatever. I forgot the specific city. He killed dude. Like, you know what I mean? It dropped on 15 minutes of fame. So I've seen him live in action and also take those battles serious. But like, you know, I would have him number one if I weighed everything. Just because the like college rules, right? Like the degree of difficulty, his schedule is difficult. And it was battles I watch people every single time. Like Swamp gonna lose, then he win. Swamp gonna lose, then he win. Even if it's a technicality, because that's part of battle rap. Sometimes the crowd boos, sometimes you say the wrong shit. You know, these motherfuckers random. You know what I mean? So I to your point, that does make sense, but to me, that's just a part of battle rap. People always win or lose for a certain reason. You know what I mean? So, but you do make sense. That's a good devil's advocate, though, like because you have to play it when you have to dissect people who are they have an equally great year, but that's why we're gonna leave it to the robot if the robot come back. Because it's hard. It's real hard. Like even I could make a case for Danny Myers number one. But to me personally, like I always, and then you shouldn't count that against somebody, but it's just compared to somebody having a year I didn't see coming. You know what I mean? And that doesn't happen all the time. Danny Myers could be 1 through 3 every year. The type of surf we saw, like not losing around. Tay-Rock at the end, he came like Tay-Rock at the end of the fucking year. Like out of nowhere, he was battling up. I was booked for Survivor Series, and the schedule didn't work out on URL. But Tay-Rock was on Survivor Series. Then he battled like 2 weeks later on something else. Then he was on something else, like all at the end of the year, and he was killing it. You know, the battle against Snake Eyes that just dropped. You know what I mean? Like Tay-Rock was killing it.
That's a smart strategy too. I always wondered about that. You know, because. Georgie Roots in the UK, he didn't get very much press in all the top 10 lists because he did the majority of his work in the first half of his year.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that with basketball. We remember the MVP at how the season ends. You know, like because at first they had like Jason Tatum, but now Jokic. All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? And then to save somebody else star, the Lakers star coming back and they in third place and LeBron still like he probably raised. It's always like that. It's always like recency bias with everything. That's why these lists are hard to do. Like A-Ward can be easy to forget sometimes because A-Ward can kill it at the beginning of a year. You know, chill a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what
That's
I mean?
hard, man. That's hard not to see A-Ward. He is everywhere. Like even in the URL conversations that he's not on, he's in the conversation.
Right. I'm just saying the conversation about, but like when they talk champion of the year.
Oh yeah, because
he's so chill too. Like he's not as cocky as he's seen in his battles. You know what I'm saying? He's a humble guy. You know what I mean? Like, but you can forget about him. Like I remember Swamp, Suge, and Bill Collector because they've been talking about the champion of the year shit the most. You know what I mean? Like they've been talking their shit. They want it. Danny Myers won it, and you see him every year. Rum Nitty's quiet. Rum Nitty's he's not really political about anything. He's quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about it.
He's got like the respect of the culture too.
He's everybody's favorite battle rapper, and he's quiet. That's like powerful to me. Like you don't see him like taking sides on things. He kind of his own guy. I've been around. I've talked to him. We play 2K. All of me, him, Beast Gatlin, Mr. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd just be on 2K. He don't act like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Rum Nitty just Rum Nitty. Like and I believe. Wow, if you think about it, it's just a loss of Swamp, but like bar for bar, Rum Nitty and Danny, like that's why they like lyricists of the year, a different thing than like the top, because it's almost like this list is almost like, you know, anybody, not this specific one, but anybody's top 10 is almost like commercial, if that makes sense. Like almost like if we're talking casually. Commercial appeal type of, but when we get to the bars and lyricism and content and how difficult it is for a specific person to write what they have as consistently as they have, this whole list changed. And when it's not just about wins and losses, and if your performance was better than somebody, if the crowd, when we get into like pen and actual content, the list changes a lot. That's why that's what makes these lists hard, because you got the guys like Danny and Nitty, who are to me, to most people, will be lyrically better than Swamp. And these are stuff they would admit. Like me, I'm not. I could be lyrical, but I'm not lyrical. I like to be funny sometimes. You know, I like to use my aggression sometimes. I like to counter. Like Ellipsis is crazy. I'm not fun to try to write with him. No, we gotta be fucked up.
Appreciate you.
I'm just gonna lose. I'm trying to be fun. I'm trying to make Ellipsis laugh. I'm trying to make his fans, my fans. I'm trying to be more likable or something in the battle. So certain of us knows who got a better pen or who actually concentrates on that more and perfected it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like Swamp Them will admit, like people like Danny Myers and Rum Nitty bar for bar, the whole year is crazier than everybody that we can name. But we still got to go by the feel, you know.
And the feel and the fans. Like this is the thread. Let's be real. Out of all the threads that we posted on Reddit for the top 10 list, this is the one that got the most attention.
Okay.
And the Reddit, they have a specific flavor. They have shit that they like more than other shit. So it's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, because Reddit hates me. Like, and I'm not seeing fuck out of me. I'm like, okay. But I know that people got to like a certain, you know, they pay attention. Like they're pin based. Like if you look at Reddit, sometimes they pay it. They smart motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like they pay. They know when a nigga cutting corners. I cut corners a lot. You know what I mean? I do it on purpose because I feel like I hate saying something smart and nobody say shit. That pisses me off. Like, you dumb motherfucker. Then I rap too. I can say, bitch.
Story of my life.
Nigga gonna be a bitch like 7 times in one round. Just to get some
somebody that Reddit really likes that maybe isn't getting as much attention to the conversation. Mac Myron. Mac Myron had a very strong year. He battled.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
You know, Big T, Lou Cypher. He did Bill Collector in the semifinals. He had Next, Enes, and I think he did a 2-on-2 against Bonnie Godiva and J2.
Yep, and he bagged him a nice contract for his work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's well deserved.
Yeah, and
that's one of those cases of when you was talking about doing a lot early. You know what I mean? Like he put his work in early in the year, and he coming back. It's gonna come. This could be the year for him, depending on what he's booked. Like this could be because some years are setups for the next year. This could be the year for Mac Myron because he's one of those guys that just lack the general public watching him live, like from because KOTD gave him that taste of that, and now if he hits on caffeine too, because we know who Mac Myron is. He's gonna have battles with, you know what I mean? He just needs the exposure to more of the like I say casual, because these are the people who don't follow it like we do, but they see it when the big things there. You know what I'm saying? Like they watch the big battles. If he have those big battles like the same opportunity Swamp have, and you give them to Mac Myron, oh my God, the people gonna be. It's gonna be like an uproar of fans who didn't pay much attention to it. Sometimes you can hear somebody's name and not watch them because they're not on the thing that you watch most of the time. But he's gonna get that respect from those of us who know him and be like, yeah, this about time. He deserves this. So it's gonna be a sense of deserving and a sense of that new exposure to fans who didn't pay as much attention. It's like, oh shit, I like this motherfucker. He gives us everything. You know what I mean?
He's so accessible. Yeah, he does everything. Like you were saying, you know, some people are specialized into like the pen and or the performance, and he gives you all of it. He gives you comedy. He gives you is very well rounded.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. He's exactly one of those, and I think this could be the year for him. So like to hear that Reddit fucks with him like that, that's a great thing. Because they don't fuck with me. I see what Geechee posted. These motherfuckers just be mean. Roasted. Hey, Geechee, kick your ass. You motherfucker watch the battle. You just like Geechee.
Another name Reddit really likes is Ill Will, and Ill Will had a pretty strong year. I think he was mostly on RBE.
Yeah, RBE. The booking, he didn't have enough battles. That from my memory.
Yeah.
If off the top of my head, I can't really.
It's like 4, but I think 4 is what I have. But you know, the 40 bars battle, the Regalis battle, and the Rosenberg Raw battle are like it's just classic Ill Will. It's really dangerous.
And he's one of those you don't know what you're gonna get when he rap. He's like he's in that hollow Pat Stay realm where you're just waiting. Okay, what style he chooses today? Like, like I love Ill Will. I get that comparison, like when people watch my shit, like I got called Geechee Mook one time. That shit was funny. But people say like Ill Will because I'm unorthodox as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I'm slick promoting myself too. But like Ill Will is a guy that I watch because people compare me to him. Just because he is like he can I rebuttal freestyle, he rebuttals freestyle, he punches, but then he can storyline, then he perform like he's random as fuck and it's fire. Like you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I like that. I like him. Like if he's like on my top 5 of all time type shit. Ill Will. It's just this year I hadn't seen him as much as I had from the years that made me fuck with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's what we were talking about earlier as well, where obviously he had battles this year, but it wasn't necessarily as concentrated towards the end of the year, where there's going to be that freshness where, you know, we remember what he did this year because it's happening like November, December.
Right, and that battle with Hollow helped him a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like when
definitely,
yeah. I'm watching it. I'm like, yeah, that's why I fuck with both of them. You know what I mean? like that's why I fuck with both of them. You know what I'm saying? That was an amazing battle. But yeah, it was okay. Y'all got the Reddit be on their shit, huh? Like
yo, 732,000 subscribers.
Jesus Christ!
I don't know how many of them are real.
But yeah, that's a lot. There's a lot. It's a lot
of BattleBots friends on that.
I was gonna say, BattleBots kids are subscribed.
I have a question about how y'all feel about a specific battle rapper, and this guy's always been fired to me. He's always been underrated, and he has a big battle next week. Chef Trez.
Ooh.
Love Chef Trez.
Totally. Chef Trez. I get that response when I ask everybody this question. He battled on my league versus Leo Bronze. My guy Leo Bronze brings out his daughter like he said he have his daughter shoot him, and she said I get away with it too because I'm only 7. You know what I'm saying? But then he rebuttals it, and it goes like viral on his Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like he knows how to create moments. He's actually technically proficient as fuck. Like Trez is he's gonna rhyme, punch, and his body language matches the whole. He's one of those guys where I think he's gonna top 10. I have to think about all the battles he had, but he's one of my personal favorites, and I think this year can be a year. Like his John battle is coming up, and it's main
I think
event.
that this year is his year too.
Yeah, I think this could be his year. This could be the year of the people that was slept on.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of getting
100%.
there. It's kind of getting there where people finally, who's been doing it for a long time. I've been Ellipsis. You've been doing this for a while.
For longer than I care to admit. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this since 2013. You know what I'm saying? And I'm actually an old man. I don't know how old are you, Ellipsis?
29 years ancient.
22.
I've been
See,
doing
y'all
it
still
since I
be
was
young.
19.
Y'all been
So.
like CJA, who's fire as fuck, by the way. CJA is fire as hell.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my
Big
guy.
facts.
I found out he was young. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm like over 10 years older than you. What the fuck? I'm 35. So I'm an older guy. You know what I mean? So like I love seeing some of the older guys who are still fucking young somehow. You know what I'm saying? I've been battling since I was 16, 17 or whatever. But, you know, there's a Sharon DNA type of thing. But I love seeing people finally getting that recognition. And then when they get it, we all know that they deserved it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels better. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you earned it for real.
Yeah, they
okay,
earned
so
it.
let's do it, right? Let's what do we say? Any final comments before we ask BattleBot to destroy our hopes and dreams?
It's a great conversation. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's see what the machine has to say.
The top 10 battlers in the United States of America are
Rum Nitty, Shotgun Should,
Oh shit!
Deal with Bill Black Meyer.
Wow, look at the bump A-Ward got.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Hey, but
Holy
it's
shit.
like our whole conversation was right there, though.
I can't stand this fucking robot, man.
It's
Look,
Can I
he
talk
may
to
have
the
this
robot? This
order.
robot, he needs to fucking, I don't know, like, he needs to unplug himself and plug himself back in, like get a full-on reboot or some shit.
Have you considered turning your brain on and off again? Maybe take it out and blow on it?
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
He's got rebuttals.
Holy
A
shit.
robot is
The rebuttal bot is alive.
The robot's about to hit you with 3 of them things, man.
He's not playing around. Oh man,
It makes sense that Rum Nitty is number 1 though, because if it what does it look at verse tracker and like do it looks at impressions on the internet?
Yeah, it's taking impressions on the internet, verse tracker, and I believe we do Reddit polls as well. We had a Reddit thread.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's-
Rum Nitty definitely in the logic of the robot. Rum Nitty being number 1 makes all because he's everybody's favorite battle rapper. Like for real, like every time I talk to somebody, I like the list. The order can be changed, but I'm the type of guy like they could put me on the top 1,000. I'm a brag type of shit. Like as long as I'm on a list guy. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am. Opinions vary. Like I think a lot of times in battle rap, I learned about ellipsis from the KOTD page. And like when somebody say they want to see a battle, they'll randomly name him and like Dallas Cash. Like who the fuck are they? Like this is back in 2019. I'm from Memphis. I'm not paying attention to big battle rap. But when I made my own league in 2019, I'm like, let me pay attention to everything. I'm seeing ellipsis and Dallas Cash name a lot. Like and to have fans, you can never underestimate or never take for granted even 1 or 2 people who feel that way about you.
Yes,
because they represent
Absolutely.
a lot of people. A lot of us like the same thing. So if you got 1 or 2 people showing you love, that's thousands in a region. That's millions over the world. You know what I mean? You gotta keep that in your head, and that's how I try to view battle rap. I could read comments. Like I had a battle drop on the app that was supposed to be live on Caffeine. So they finally dropped it on the app, and we was on rooftop, and I was supposed to be in front of everybody. So in my head, I was feeling like, damn, I'm saying shit like, this nigga a black vegan hippie, ugly name, pretty. He is different. That's like a white racist with a BET subscription that seasons chicken named Hakeem and Crippen. You know what I'm saying? That's for people. You know what I mean? That's to see how y'all react. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna be in front of people, make them laugh. I'm on a rooftop. We know rooftop goes lyrical. So I'm like dreading this shit dropping because I know how mean people can be. Like, this motherfuckers just being funny on the rooftop and they don't know the situation. Right. But I was reading fans cracking the fuck up. And there was a lot of them. It was like 3 or 4 people was like, he's just being funny or I don't like him. But why would I pay attention to those 3 or 4 when the dude at the end like, smack, I enjoyed this, that nigga NASA a comedian. And people like, this dude funny or this dude fire and I had bars too. I'm going to love them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay. I could lose a battle. I could be live and lose a battle 60% to 40%. That's 40% of motherfuckers who thought I won. I'm not gonna, I lost the battle. No, hey, y'all add me to Facebook, Twitter, and the 60% who thought I lost but thought I still was fine, y'all add me too. And root for me the next time. You know what I mean? Like, I think like that. So even being on this list, when they do champion, you know what I'm saying? I think the guys who don't win champion year need to kind of appreciate that they were even considered. There's some shit that I dream to be on, like just to be on the list. You know what I mean?
You're in the conversation for real.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked to be on the Canadian list. Which was higher than Ellipsis though. So.
You know, just in the right spot too. That's what counts.
See, I have to watch your battles. You know what I'm saying? I have to watch them because I don't be plugged in to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be plugged in there. And then I watch you motherfuckers, I'll be like, God damn, what the fuck? Like, to me, I love battle rap, and somebody's I always think somebody's position has a lot to do with exposure and opportunity more than their skill set and what they actually have. You know what I mean? I feel like if the whole world was watching like us here, we have millions of fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just about, it's a grind. And sometimes you just got to enjoy the fact that you made it far enough to have specific battles and specific experiences. Because I've seen people make it to the top and that was the worst fucking thing that ever happened to them.
Real shit. Real shit. You know, this thing that we're doing is like, it's a community thing. It's a love thing. It's a appreciation thing. And when you get too much in your ego or too much about where you are on a list, I mean, it takes away from it when we're really all just there to have a good time, and God knows that everybody
stop enjoying it. I seen I think it was Big T, he had posted on Twitter. I've been on Twitter a lot lately, as you know. Copastatic knows I usually raise hell on Facebook, but they got me banned good this time. So I'm on Twitter. I'm getting used to Twitter. So I see Big T say, man, this battle rap shit a nightmare. And my guy Capo from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? He shared and said, man, y'all shut this shit up. Like, you motherfuckers be known and get money, get paid. And I'm a blunt nigga. I don't care who know who, what. Some of these guys aren't as good as us. And they get paid way more money. They get booked way more times. They get booked on bigger platforms. And they still complain about nothing, about being blessed. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta keep strong.
You gotta know when you're blessed. I've said this in a private conversation to one of the battles that we was talking about. And I told him, you're blessed to be where you at. You know what I mean? You're blessed to even be in the conversation. You're blessed for somebody to on a wide scale to critique you. You know what I mean? Like that's mean you have exposure. You have people critiquing you because they want to see you, elevate to people. It's like wrestling. When you walk out, you rather have the whole crowd booing or silence.
Right.
You want the boos. I'd rather them hate me and watch every fuck. I'd rather them watch me. I'd rather them tune in and watch me lose than don't give a fuck whether I won or lost. A-Ward lost a battle to Big K. Everybody talking about it. That's a good thing. They just waiting for applause. Yeah, the nigga win too much, motherfucker. Make us feel like we ain't good enough. Yeah, sometimes we do want to see you niggas lose sometimes. God damn, you too good. You been too perfect. Yeah, you're human. Okay, you're human. You're human. But that means we're watching as fans and spectators. You know what I'm saying? it means you're somebody. Now, if a nigga lost and we just don't give a fuck,
that's worse.
It's way worse. I got 200 and I think it's 225,000 views on me versus Geechee God. You got people saying I won. You got a shitload of motherfuckers saying, they just tune in for Geechee. They ain't watching for me. Saying I lost. You got some people saying, y'all tripping, man. The old man was killing it. I like all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm even fighting the shit like, okay, let me see somebody who actually critiqued me. Okay, I can add this, I can add that. They like this part. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. That's how you grow. That's why I started wearing the suit after that. I wear suits in real life. I go get my glasses. They make my glasses in the same day. I ain't got wait no that. Hey, just go over there in the hour and they're gonna have your glasses ready because I'm in the suit. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, suit give a nigga some kind of respect. But that's like I found out things through the criticisms, through having that exposure because I faced Geechee. I faced Danny too. And me and Danny did a tag team battle. Getting all that feedback from those moments, the big battles that we have that actually get the views and people paying attention to. Find all the good and the bad. The bad can help you get better. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I just tell my kids I was a battle rap. I kicked all their ass. Right. I get to lie. My kids gonna pick up on anyway.
100%.
Kids watch a battle gonna think you lost. No. That's why these experiences is good. You get old, we all gonna go gray if you live long enough. We all gonna reflect on the shit we've done, and this shit is fun at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I would love to be on. I would love to lose champion of the year. I would love for the battle bot to just put me 10 right there. You know what I mean? I would have loved that.
Salute to the battle bot for that list.
Salute to battle bot, man.
Exactly. I appreciate
it's a lot of hard
I'm a talking motherfucker, man. That's what I do, man. Come
on. On that note, man, really appreciate Ellipsis having you on, NASA, for jumping on and chopping it up with us about this list. This was our anniversary episode. We started this podcast a year ago, and it's been a lot of fun and just shooting the shit. And I'm glad that it culminated in this episode. But
I like to come back, man. I like to come back and speak and get to know more of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I like conversations like this. You know, I try to stay positive, bro. Like
we love getting known. For real.
It's fun.
Absolutely.
It's fun, yo. Like just talking about battle rap, keeping a positive vibe, man. I don't like negative battle rap energy. Now we could debate basketball. I'm gonna talk shit. Some shit like that. But like battle rap, bro, this is some shit that it helps us release a lot of feelings and emotions we have. It's a good release. It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic to help people too. You know what I'm saying? To do things for people in the culture, to help other people get a chance to see their dreams come true and stuff like that. So like, I love this. Shout out to y'all anniversaries. Salute for you to even ask me to come on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share this shit to all my people. Tell them watch.
Oh yeah, we're gonna clip all this up. There's
okay. I'm gonna get I'm gonna send me a screenshot of the battle bot list, and I'm gonna put the link because I know them guys. I know most of the people on the list. So I'm gonna tell them, hey, what y'all think about this shit?
We'll definitely.
No Geechee? I just thought about that. Okay. No Geechee on the battle bot list.
Battlebot's gonna catch some heat.
Yeah, Battlebot.
But yeah, that is the show this week. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and join the Discord link in the sidebar. Follow our esteemed guests, who are all awesome and deserve that love. And we'll be back next week. If you wanted to like and subscribe, that's sort of like something that some people do, but it's not really. I wouldn't put any pressure on you to do that. It's sort of like just cool people do, I think.
Yeah, man.
But
cool. Appreciate y'all having us on.
Thanks. And we'll be back here next week with a regular episode, and maybe some fine tuning to the battle bot. We'll see. Okay.
Fine tuning to my brain, apparently.
Good show. We'll catch you next week. Take us out, Pat.
Top 10 reunion episode.